was 9, my parents sat my sister and I down for a family meeting. Now, my parents really loved family meetings. I was expecting to be told that I didn't load the dishwasher correctly or I needed to pick up more dog poop. I was ready. I was ready for 2 weeks of a really strict chore chart, and then it would die out like all of the other family meetings did. That's not what I got. "You're going to get 2 brothers," my parents said. And the kicker was they weren't coming in 9 months. They were coming in just a few weeks. You see, that's how it happens when you adopt from foster care. It just happens. And in fact, we got a few weeks more warning than most do. And so my brothers came. They became part of our family. We went from a family of 4 to a family of 6, later settling as a family of 7. 2 years later, my parents held another family meeting. It was just me and my sister and my youngest brother. The oldest brother was coming home late for an appointment. But then my parents told me that my brother wouldn't be coming home. They told me that they had made the difficult decision that they couldn't provide the love and support that my brother needed to thrive. My parents told me that my brother was being removed from our home. And this hit. It was hard. At 11, I didn't completely understand what was going on. And I get it now, but I can only imagine what my parents felt at that time. What does it feel like to tell a child who has hopped from home to home that you wanted to provide him with the love and support of a family, but you just couldn't? And I bet if I polled the room, that other feelings of this sort of failure would be here. I've experienced these now in my own life growing up, and maybe you can relate to this. Times when you love somebody who's in a tough spot or a tough situation, and you love them, and you invest in them, and you hope for this change, and the change just doesn't happen. And it feels like failure. And before I go on, I don't want to discount those feelings because they're real, and they don't just float away into space. I've had good friends listen to me weep over my feelings of failure, and I hope that if you can relate to what I'm saying, you have those folks in your life as well. But we have to understand where they come from because we can't live in those. And so here's my question. What does it mean to fail in foster care? What does failure really look like? So defining failure means we have to define success. And this isn't Webster's dictionary definition, this is my definition. But I see success as a positive change from when something started to when it ended. And I feel like that's fair, right? I feel like that's an okay definition. Businesses celebrate profit at the end of a quarter. Businesses don't celebrate going into more debt than what they invested. Even in other works of justice, we celebrate change. We celebrate making reform. We celebrate goals, right? But the problem is when we bring that transactional, linear mindset to the realm of real relationships with real human beings. That linear mindset of end goals and end relationships means that our love then is centered around us, and it's centered around our ability to provide change. It lacks the solidarity and selflessness that real relationships require. Selfless love means saying that your love will exist no matter what happens. Your love will be right here. And in foster care, that is hard. Sometimes in foster care, that means waking up every day to the same difficult behaviors and loving through those behaviors. Sometimes in foster care, that means walking right next to somebody through heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And sometimes in foster care, that love, that real honest love, means saying that you can't provide the home or the parenting or the mentorship or the relationship someone needs to thrive. But when Christ calls us to love, he didn't say fix, because you were first fixed. I bet if I also polled the room that no hands would pop up about who feels like they've really been fixed. We're told to love because you were first loved. And no matter your role in foster care, whether as a parent, a mentor, a friend, a babysitter, a Sunday school teacher, a church advocate, we are called to love selflessly. We are called to open our homes, our lives, our time schedules, and open up our safety and comfort to the children who need it across our country. And we still celebrate change, but we also have to celebrate that unseen background selfless love. My brother may have left our home, but he didn't leave our family. Even without signed adoption papers, my brother is still an active part of our family at every wedding, at every celebration. He was the one to dump ice water on me for the ALS challenge. And I recognize that not every story of foster care removal ends like this. But friends, the kids that we served were not failed when we showed up and the things that we wanted to happen didn't. The kids that we served were failed by a much bigger broken system and a sinful world. We only fail when we don't show up. We fail when we don't obey our call to care for and love these kids in whatever capacity, because they are our kids, they are the kids of our city, and we are called to them. Friends, failure in foster care is not when we fail to fix, but when we fail to show up and love. Thank you.